So we're back in the kitchen. Welcome to my table, welcome to my kitchen. Tonight we're doing another Instant Pot recipe. I mentioned in my last video that I wanted to do a macaroni and cheese in the Instant Pot. I'm just going to say a disclaimer here. These are not the most healthy recipes. So if you're disappointed or you think I don't know what a good recipe is, not the case. However, every night cannot be a gourmet meal. And I can make this, sorry, just letting the pressure off my spritzer. Do you know that if you have an oil spritzer, after you use it, every time you should let that pressure off? It really does keep it working better. Just a quick tip. I've sprayed my pan. This is not the most healthy recipe. However, it is healthier than the stuff you get in a box. And that is my ultimate goal on this channel, is to empower you to make your own from scratch, rather than buying processed stuff in a box or a can or whatever. So on that note, we're doing macaroni and cheese. There are very few kids and very few adults that I know that don't like a good mac and cheese. The name brand that most people find synonymous with mac and cheese, honestly, I used to really like. But as I've tried it recently, I sneak a bit every now and then when the kids make it, it doesn't even have the cheese flavor that it used to. It's just a yellow powder. Anyway, enough said. How we're starting with this is I'm doctoring mine up a little bit. I'm sure that doesn't shock anybody that's watched my videos so far. I'm starting with about 4 Roma tomatoes that we had frozen that I put in the blender and chopped up. I just feel it's gonna give it a little more flavor. I'm also adding meat and spinach to it, so I just feel this will kick it up a notch. And I need to fill this with water now to bring it up to the level that it was supposed to be at. So I'm going to do 3.5 cups of liquid. According to the recipe, it should be 4, but also according to the recipe, it's supposed to have 16 ounces of noodles. I couldn't find macaroni anywhere, so I've got egg noodles, and it's only about a 13.5 ounce bag. So there's a little less noodles. I'm putting a little less liquid. I am putting the liquid in. 4 tablespoons of butter. As you can see, I use accurate measurements at all times. And I will turn this down, let you see it when I've got it all in here. A teaspoon of salt. Yes, that's a big spoon, but no, I'm not using all that. So I'm gonna put a teaspoon of salt and my pasta. So I'm throwing the whole bag in. I don't know if egg noodles cook different than macaroni, but we're gonna find out. Pasta is pasta, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm not stirring these, but I am pushing it down. It's supposed to be under the water, and it's not. I don't know, do I risk making it soupy? I think that's a better plan than drying it out. I'm gonna put about the 1/2 cup in that I left out. So it's at least wet. The lid goes on. I make sure my steam vent is where it's supposed to be. And I can't see. Okay. And I make sure that I press that button to make it so it's going to seal and not vent. I'm turning it on. It is on. And I'm going to put it on for 4 minutes. So my setting is going to be a little different on this than the Instant Pot, but you're putting it on manual pressure and turning it to 4 minutes. And on the Instant Pot, you just don't touch it after that. It'll turn on. And on this one, I have to press start. And I'll be back. Okay guys, so my timer went. It's cooked for 4 minutes. It's actually sat for 3. So I'm going to release the pressure. Pushing the button. Waiting for this red toggle. I don't know what you call it. If somebody knows what this should be called, let me know, because honestly my word finding capabilities are a little almost non-existent these days. Whatever it is, it's red and it's going to go down when the pressure is released. Now I have a container. When I did the spaghetti, I cooked 2 pounds of ground beef, but only needed 1. So I have the remaining pound. Actually, it was venison, but I have a remaining pound that's already cooked, which is why I didn't put it in here already. And I'm going to put it in once I see how this pasta turned out. There we go. So now I can remove the lid and see how this did. Well, so it was maybe a little dry. The stuff on the top looked a little dry. Oh no, that's the tomatoes. Okay, I think we're good. There is still liquid in there. It will be absorbed, and I still have to put more in. So I'm throwing in the ground meat and spinach. I have approximately 2 cups of marble cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. It's supposed to be 2 cups. And I'm not grating it. That's another one of my least favorite jobs. And I do big batches in my blender instead of grating it on that 4-sided metal grater that I often manage to lose some skin on. So I'm just going to break it up in chunks. And of course, I have to test it. Make sure it's okay. And half a cup of milk. I'm going to stir this up. I almost think it needs more cheese, but we'll see. And if I do need to put some in, I will throw some Parmesan in. So I'm going to put it on the saute section, or saute selection, which on this one it's called sear. I'm going to let that cheese melt. I'm going to kind of keep stirring it as I go, just because it's not a lot of liquid in there and I don't want it to burn. So except for the white flour in the pasta, I will redeem myself by saying everything else in here is whole ingredients. It's not processed. Pasta is a hard thing. to, well, I mean, you can get whole wheat pasta, but it's not as readily available as the white. I'm also going to add some extra seasoning, which is garlic powder, onion powder, and some oregano. Not a lot, because with macaroni and cheese, I don't really put a lot of oregano. Now I could hear it starting to heat up. Honestly, I think it needs more cheese. But again, I'll be patient because it is still in chunks. But it seems a little dry to me. I'm just going to put a little bit more milk. So again, I just want to remind everybody, a recipe is just a starting point. And it may not work for you. There may be things you like or don't like in the recipe. There may be things missing. I mean, obviously ratios are important, but also take some liberty in ways that isn't going to ruin your dish. Honestly, that flavor's fantastic. I do think it needs more cheese. I mean, maybe if I wasn't promoting it as mac and cheese, and just a casserole, it wouldn't need any. But I'm going to turn it off because I can already feel that it's kind of sticking to the bottom. And there's enough heat in there now to finish this job. Okay, there you go. There you've got a pasta casserole. Again, if you just want to make macaroni and cheese, you don't put the meat in. But no, this actually is really good. I'm still going to let it sit for a little bit. I think everything tastes better when it sits for a little bit. Just want to make sure I'm at the point where it's not going to burn. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you try it. If you enjoy my channel, give it a thumbs up for the recipe. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Choose all notifications, and that way you will continue to receive the videos as I post them. On my next video, I think it's going to be part 2 of the venison broth. We haven't actually canned it yet. We put it out to cool and left it frozen, but we need to get that done, so that's what I'm planning next. Hope you join me.